All right, you asked me about what I did. 5-hole. This is not as big as what most 5-holes are. The widths of the holes are the same, but what we did was we made it a little bit shorter so it kind of matched the cab. I didn't want it all goofy sticking up. And the other thing we did is the length of it from front to back is a little bit shorter, and then that helps with the gooseneck ball. We offset it, the gooseneck ball, with that B&W 4-inch, and then I don't know what the extended neck. I think it's 14 inches or 10 inches, something like that. And that'll give you your turning radius and offset it from the box so you don't hit it. So I got plenty of room. I mean, your bottom doors, when you open them, they will touch. You just got to be careful. But the whole point of the 5-hole for me is not to have, you know, I got 24 holes and the 5-hole. It wasn't to have 29 dogs. It was to be able to drop the gooseneck and go run a couple derby dogs or a couple young junior, senior dogs or whatever, and leave your trailer at the open or the master or whatever. So that was my idea. I did light bars on each side. They're split, so you have your controls right here for your lights on the outside, and then you have lights on the inside. That one is the water pump, I think. I got pressure water here, and then lights on the inside. The other thing I did, which I recommend highly, it's worth every dollar, is to do your HD handles. So if you notice on my handles, they're lower. Most handles are right here. And I have seen deerskin do this handle, but right here. The problem with doing it that way is your point of contact is up here, so a dog or somebody could pry this corner open. Whereas when Ainley does it, they put it down here closer to the bottom. And what it does, if you look right here, your tab is not at the bottom anymore, it's on the side. So when you squeegee out, you don't have that spot for dirt and debris and stuff to get stuck. It is a dual fan system. The fans on my box, how I did it, is done by the inside of my truck. The reason I did that is I got toggle switches in my truck. So right here, if I want to cut the fans on for the 5-hole, it's 1 and 2. And then the rear light bar for the 5-hole is here. And what that does is cuts this light bar on, so when you back up at night to hook up or early in the morning, you can see very good. The other thing we did was we put in camera system. So there's a camera on the 5-hole. When I put it in reverse, it automatically pops up here on this monitor, and then that way you can see your gooseneck. Now on this screen, I don't have a Larry or anything, but it's small. But this screen right here is still my tailgate, so you can still see this too, which is nice. I like that. When you switch your button right here on 1 and 2, V1, V2, it'll go to the trailer camera, which is really nice when you're going down the interstate. So when you're switching lanes, or if you need a backup or whatever, it will, you can switch it. And it will stay on there. You can turn it on, turn it off. It's got all types of different settings. I mean, it's pretty wild. The other thing is on numbers 4 and 5, those run the fans, the exhaust fans on the trailer. So if you get stuck in traffic, you can click those on, suck that air out without getting out of the truck. And the other one, number 6, is my rear light bars on the trailer. We'll go back here. They're on now. I have them cut on right here, but I'll cut them off here and they'll still be on. So you got your rear light bars, so when you're backing up late at night or early in the morning, whatever, you can see. So that was a cool feature. Hang tight. All right, going to the trailer. It's hard to notice, but you can right here, and you have one, so you might be able to tell. But if you notice right here, this right here is higher than probably what yours is. Yours is probably even. And what I did was, Paul Slutton did it on his. We raised the gooseneck That way you can walk underneath it. I'm short, so I can get under here pretty easy. Paul's taller, and he probably still has to duck, but it's easier on him. It also keeps it up off your bed rails, so that's nice. Something cool they did, I didn't know they were gonna do this, but you do have a light here, so you can hook up at night or unhook, whatever. So let's talk about the wiring. This is your camera. It's a direct feed, it has to be. This right here is all my auxiliary switches. That's what this extra cable is here, and I think I still got 3 or 4 or 2 or whatever it is that I can still hook into there. And then this right here is all your lights and brakes, just like a regular trailer would be. This is where I've been running a generator. I got that up there, extension cord, and that's why the gas tanks are in there. I'm gonna talk about the front. The front here is different than most people. Some people do all types of different things, but what I did was I did storage on this side. I also did smooth stainless. It's just 3 shelves, impact in there, jack, all that kind of stuff in case you get broke down. This side is all your electronics. This is your charger, battery charger. This is your inverter, all your fuses and stuff, electric breakaway, batteries, and then hydraulics. The hydraulic works the jack, so I went with hydraulic jack. That way it's faster. All this is custom, so he's never done this. He hadn't never done the wireless before. It does have to be kind of outside the truck. You can put it out your window and use the wireless jack. It'll go up and down. It's sweet, man. It's awesome. But you know, if you're inside the truck and the remote's in there, it won't do it. If you stick it out the window, it'll do it fine, which is awesome. This is exactly what I want. Smooth stainless on the front. The thickness, the gauge thickness here is thicker. That way, hopefully, you know, if you kick a rock up, it won't damage it, but it looks 10 times better. I did a lot of smooth stainless. It does make your trailer, however, heavier. Let me cut some of these lights and stuff off. Let's see. All right. So, first closet, what I did was, you got hooks, and I did carpet in here, cooler tray slide out. You got some nice drawers, you know, just extra stuff. I got ammo in there, keep it nice and dry. XM radio. You do have a light in here, that way you can check that out. This up here is for shore power, and so if you're hooked up to a generator or just straight to an outlet, and then if you switch it back over and then flip this on, this will run your inverter on this side, but we're hooked up to shore power. Did a microwave in case you want to cook something. Same thing on the handles here, all the HD handles, so they're low. I did light bars. What I did was 2 30-inch light bars on each side, so I got 4 30-inch light bars. Paul Sletton did a 60-inch light bar. He didn't like it. This gives me plenty of light. I wouldn't do it any other way. That's the way I would do it. If you move up to a bigger size, you're going to spend a lot of money, and then if you have to replace it, then you spend a lot of money replacing it too. So I just went with 30, and they're expensive as all get out, but they're less expensive than a 60-inch light bar. You got a big breezeway. Every section of the trailer has all these. It's hard to see. Let's see. I'll cut this one. All right. So every section has your buttons. So I got kennel lights, driver's side airing lights, underbody lights. This is something that I think 1 or 2 people did. Cut those on, and you have lights underneath the trailer. This is really nice, so you can see a dog if they're close. I mean, you got these light bars, they shine out, but this shines down so you can see really good. You can also, on the interstate, man, when you're on the interstate, I've been running them at night, and you can just see the lines behind you. You can see if somebody gets over in your lane, so somebody don't hit you if you pass an 18-wheeler. I mean, it's just really nice. You know, you got your front fan, which is this fan up here, your exhaust fan, and then I did kennel fans. But I only did them in the bottom front holes. Now, see it. We're loaded up. If you look right here, there's a little box right there. It's a blower fan. It's blowing back on this back side right here. It's blowing air, and I did it on both sides. There's one on each side. On the bottom holes where they're stacked, I did that. Obviously lights. We did tons of lights in here so dogs can see. The other thing you'll see is I did a chair rack, which is this big rack on top. Put your chairs, it keeps it off your breezeway. We did outlets in here. That way you can hook up box fans to blow down and keep the dogs cool. And this is Line-X'd. It's not just plain metal. So that's really, really nice. Speaker options, they have a couple different ones. I recommend going with this. It's an outdoor speaker, of course, you know, it's waterproof, all that kind of stuff, water resistant. And they face out so you can hear it. The other ones, they'll have flush mounted. Those will go straight down to the dogs, and then you won't hear it, and then you got to make it louder, and then it's just louder on the dogs. So you might as well just put them on the outside. It doesn't give you as much space, but it's better for you in the long run for your speakers. We did 4 speakers, 2 in each breezeway, as you can see here. On every breezeway you have your options for, you know, turning on lights. Everything is you know, driver side airing lights, you can cut them on. So if you're at the hotel and you only want to cut driver side on, you can cut driver side on. If you go to the other side, you can cut passenger side only on. Or if you just want to cut the rear lights on, you can cut those on. There's a rear fan, which is in this hole right here up top. It's an exhaust fan. Underbody lights, and you got your water pump there. I did I think it's kind of standard, but it is pressure water on both sides and gravity fed. And then let's talk about the water. I did 80 gallons, 80-gallon tank. I ran it the first weekend and had just enough to get through the weekend, 80 gallons for 3 days. But I did pressure water on my 5-hole, and I think I got 20 gallons here. And I never touched this, so I have 100 gallons on the truck, and I didn't even touch this, you know. But I only had I had puppies on here, and I had like 16 dogs. So you put 24 dogs on there. I mean, I don't know. I might go to 100, honestly, if you could on the trailer. I would probably upgrade to 100 gallons. The other thing that you'll see that you might not notice is this is a pee rail. I did this on all the stacked holes. So if a dog pees here, it's not running down into this hole here. It'll hit this rail and run off to either side. So that's a really cool feature. The other thing I did that most people are not gonna do is I did the ramp for all your stacked holes, which is kind of standard if you want it, but I did it for the bottom holes too. So if you have an old dog, they can get in. The other thing I didn't talk about was everything I did was like double. So instead of walking around this big trailer, I did a double ramp. This is a ramp holder, so I did a double ramp. You can do a single, I did a double. That way you have a ramp on both sides, or if you got an assistant trainer, they have their own ramp, they can kick dogs off. Outlets up here so you can run box fans, blower fans. This right here is a cool little feature, just to hold your hose and hose reel stuff. And then, you know, same thing here. I even did this. This is a marker light when you're driving. It's also a blinker whenever you cut your blinker on and change lanes. To fill up your water tank there. This is for the awnings. So this is kind of like what Danny Farmer or somebody did. I don't know who exactly started all this, but feed station. I did meds up here up top. I know JD Babb did a gun holder up here, which is nice, but I don't need that. I put my guns in the truck and you know, but he did a lockable box, so he could have this open, still have his guns locked. So that would be nice. I do recommend this. It's like 35 bucks. I did one on both sides for your paper towels. You got pressure water here because it's above the water tank, so you have to have pressure. Lights, so you got plenty of lights in here. You can see very well. Now this is different. This is where it gets, nobody's ever done this. So what I did on the other side, I'll show you, but because of what I did on the other side, we had just some openings here, so I just said, hey, just put some shelves in there. I'm good with that. You know, put my ghillie blinds here, water bowls from when you stake out your dogs. But we'll cut this back off. Water bowl, or food bowls, so they don't slide around. That works pretty good as long as you don't get them too tall. But with 12 in there, it's not bad. So open that up. And I don't think I have any food in this one. We just ran out on this side. For your food, you can unbolt this and wash it out if you need to, but what most guys are doing is taking a bag of dog food, and I'll show you on the other side, and they're slitting it open at the top, turning it sideways, slitting it open at the top, leaving it in there, scooping it out, which is what I've been doing, and it stayed pretty clean. Just every time you change a bag, if you got 1 or 2 kernels down there, you just pick it up. Not a big deal. Pretty slick. Close this back up. All the keys are matching. This right here. So I did chains. This is not normal. A lot of people do cables. I recommend doing chains. That way, if you got a dog with no collar, you can loop it around their neck and hook it. I did 5 foot. I would recommend doing 6 foot. Probably be better. Maybe, I don't know. 5 foot is good enough, but 6 foot would be good too. But 5 foot is what I would. That's what I did. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I would change it. On this closet, you do have a light in here. All your closets, every closet has a light in it. But on this one, we just stacking extra food in here, so it doesn't have anything in this one. It's the only one I did like that, just for that reason, just for extra dog food. Rear closet. This is what I did with mine. Carpet on the doors so you don't scratch it up. Hooks. And then charge station back here. So you got a place where you can put your transmitters and walkie-talkies, all that stuff. I labeled all my stuff. The only thing I would, well, we'll talk about that last, but drawer systems, you know, whatever. I got paper towels, and I don't know what this is, just extra duck calls and choke tubes and pinch collars and all the dog training stuff that I would probably need. I did change the lights on the back. Camera, I did a smooth gate. It does make it heavier. And these lights right here, these marker lights, you can actually, when you hit your brakes, they brighten up, which is really, really nice. Safety latch. And I'll show you the inside up here, if it's open. So, you got 3 springs because it's a heavy gate. Most of them have 2. Hideaway on your tire. That glare here, sorry. For your tire. I did custom wheels. I also did upgraded the tires to 16 ply. So this matches everything that I have now on the trailer. So if you do get a flat for your side-by-side, and then steps, and then for the front of your side-by-side. Now this is what most people would not do, is this box right here, which is smooth stainless. I don't have anything in it yet. I'm gonna put decoys, and most people will put wingers up here, but I didn't like that idea. We don't use wingers anyway. We hand throw everything, but when I first started, I did use wingers. If you're running HRC, you're probably use wingers, but smooth stainless box. It's heavy. It was 1,100 bucks for that box right there, which most people do out of diamond plate. The roof is diamond plate. The inside in here is diamond plate. This is for the side-by-side. This hooks into the hitch of it. You know, it comes up, hooks in the hitch, and then you can lock it down so it doesn't go anywhere. Front tires sit up there. close this back. This is access to air ride and all that kind of stuff if you need it. It's tankless system, but you got access to your pump if you need it. Let me throw this back over here. I think they just do this just to get the gate up some, that way it's not so steep. Your D-hooks for your stakeouts, super nice, recommend it highly. Got these air and lights off. Alright, so rear closet, kind of mirrors, but I did not do anything on this one. And light, same drawers, but we just got a shelf up here, no charge station back here. Now this one is different. So extra gas there. This is for bumpers. I haven't washed my bumpers. I haven't used this trailer but 2 weeks, and I haven't got everything cleaned up to put in there. But for your boom guns, and you do have lights in here. It's nice. JD Bab, I think, started this. I'm going to tell you something about this stuff that I'm going to do a little change. Now this is where it gets different. Put that light off. Is on this side. It is a feed station. I did nothing but a shelf up top. You still got your lights and your pump. But what I did was, you still got, you know, your feed station, like I said, on this side. I'll show you what I was talking about with the dog food. Turn it in there sideways, slit it open, then you can get your dog food without it getting in your box. Keep it nice and clean. But if you do need to clean it, you can take it out. Paper towel rack, nothing up top, but this is where it got crazy. Was they did this on a chassis mount, and it's a winger storage. And I put hides in here. Now I don't use wingers, I do have them. But just in case I needed them, I got them. And so they got this nice slide out for you, place you can bungee it. And that's why those shelves are on that other side right there. So this trailer's a little bit longer than what most are. But I also did a extended pad, which is 12 foot versus 10 foot, I think, for the side-by-side, so I can put a 1000 in that thing. I got a Can-Am that we put in there. Up top, same thing for your kennel lights and all that kind of stuff. Same on this side, pressure and gravity water. You know, chair rack, outlets, same thing this. Now this is where the closet's different on this side. So I did hooks and carpeted everything in here. You do have a light. And all your coats and stuff in here. Let's see if I can slide this out. But you can slide it out, you know, put all your stuff in there, jackets and whatnot for your guys or you on the weekend. And so that's it, man. I mean, oh, let's talk about this. So custom wheels, tires upgraded to 16 ply. Same thing on this side, I just split them. But back here, we did air rod, a true air rod system. It's tankless, but it's air rod. So this trailer like floats, man, when you're going down the interstate. It's freaking awesome. It's $10,000, but it is worth every penny of it. I would do it. I did electric over hydraulic disc brakes, which you can see here, kinda the calipers, and it is disc, it's rotors back there. And the maintenance up front, it's a little bit more expensive, but in the long run you'll save 10 times the money, man. I highly recommend doing it. And I did oil bath bearings, that way you don't have to grease anything, and those bearings are always getting lubed versus ones that have grease in there. Because what happens is, on that grease, you're going down the interstate and it's slinging that grease all the way to the outside, and then the bearings really ain't getting coated. So what you'll see on all your big heavy equipment trailers that are goosenecks, your flatbeds, they have oil bath bearings. Some of them have air brakes, but you know, I'm not going air brakes. You know, I did electric over hydraulic. Dude, it will stop this son of a gun. Like, it ain't no joke. Like, it'll you can lock this truck up if you really want it to. It'll stop it. I mean, I'm impressed with the stopping power, because this trailer, dry weight with no dogs, no ATV, no nothing, is 10,000 pounds. With the ATV, or with the side-by-side, 1,000. Water and all your dogs loaded up, you're like 15,000 pounds. Now, what you have sitting on my axles is only like 6,500 pounds on the axles. So I did two 8,000 pound axles. I have 9,500 pounds that I can put on this trailer. My side-by-side's 4,500. Dogs, you're at 50 pounds a dog, you know, average times 24. And then you're at, you know, 680 pounds, I think, for water when it's full. It's like 8 pounds a gallon, 80 gallons, so something like that. And then what's not on here is my awnings. That's what these mounts are up here. And we color matched them. They'll go back up there. They're all the same. They are 15 foot. They go all the way down the trailer. There's 4 of them, 2 on each side. And I recommend doing manual. That way it's one less thing that's electric to brake. It doesn't take but 2 seconds to pull them out. So I would do that for sure. So now let's talk about, that's pretty much everything. Let me talk about what I would change and do different, or not really change, just add. So one thing I would add is on the back side here, I'm gonna add it. I already called him and talked to him about it. But between the microwave and here, I'm gonna add a divider straight in the middle, or whatever, you know, wherever they need it at. And that will keep, when you cook, it'll keep your clothes from stinking. So I am gonna do a divider that's sealed up around the edge. That's one thing I would add that I did not. The other thing I would add, and he'll tell you that, you know, your batteries will only last so long when you're running fans. I didn't know that they were gonna be not last that long. It takes a long time to charge these 12-volt batteries up, even when your truck is running in your drive. But I would add up here a generator in this hole right here. And I think they put steps like on the side right here so you can get up there and crank it up. I do electric start, and I don't know if for sure if they do a extra gas tank, but I would recommend doing that. Just go ahead and do it, man, because your batteries last about 4 hours when you're running all these fans during the summertime. So it ain't worth it. All right, change or add-ons. So didn't think about it before. Great idea for your bumper storage. The only problem is what happens when your bumpers get dirty. Then you put them back in here, then you got to clean this, right? Well, you can't wash it out because you got freaking carpet in here. So this was a dumb idea. It was a good idea. It was good. We're on the right track. But what I recommend doing, I'm gonna have them rip this out, is come back and put a piece of rubber in here. They have rubber. I recommend doing rubber in here. That way you can rinse this thing out with a hose, and then you ain't got to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? And I would do rubber on this probably too. Maybe if they can. I don't know. I might maybe or maybe not. I don't know. But rubber in here for your guns. And the other thing I would do is I'd put an eyelid like right here, and then a slit on this side. That way you can have a little bitty short bungee that will go from here to there and holds these guns from coming out. Because even if you tilt them, they still want to come back and hit your door when you're driving and working. So I'm going to add that. On the other side, we did that charge station. I would add the charge station. I'm going to try to see if they can add it and put outlets in here like they did on the other side. Carpet this door and put hooks. That way if I got an assistant trainer, he can have it. The other thing that I would do is, and see if they can, they may not be able to do it, and it may change the drawer size, and maybe that's why they don't do it. But all this crack in here, man, this is going to get dirty, right? So if you look at these drawers, there's cracks on the sides, there's cracks here, but check the drawers in the front. Let me pause it. So the drawers in the front, they're enclosed. This is what I would have rather have, and I probably would have paid the extra money if it wouldn't have been too crazy to have this drawer system. Now, with that being said, the drawers might be a little bit shorter, but you're not gonna have that crack like you would back there. So I would recommend doing that. And I think that's it, man. So that's it for my rig. As you can see, I waited 16 months to have this thing built. It's a great setup. I love it. I highly recommend going with Ainley. They did an excellent job on it. Happy with everything that we did with it. The quality is top notch. You're not gonna find a better built trailer in the country. So